Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to 10 Arrows Coffee and Bistro, the site of tonight's Blanchard Coaches Show. October 22nd, your date 2024, your year. It's a rivalry
There you
rivalry
go. You already
week
did. You already
edition.
did it.
Yeah, it's a bad rivalry. Is one of those.
First one you already
That's
started.
right.
You didn't even
That's
have to
right.
say red.
I know.
You said it.
I'm even a little nervous for what's
But it is
what's
easy
going
to
down
go
on
Elmer
Friday.
Fudd when you say rivalry.
That's right.
Rivalry.
Quick shout out to 10 Arrows before we get going here. They have the coaches special going on just during the coaches show. We were in the Commons last week because of fall break. Now we're back at 10 Arrows outside. Still feels like it's summer. Not a big fan, but they have the 10 Arrows coaches special going on. $14 for a full sandwich, chips, cookie, and drink. $12 for a chicken salad, sandwich, chips, cookie, and drink. Don't worry if none of the specials entertain your taste buds. The full menu will also be served during the coaches show. Also, happy NBA opening day for those who keep score. But with that being said, we're going to talk about the first segment. Going to talk about what
Still
was
football season.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I had to pinch it in there though because we don't get to do this during basketball season. But with that being said, Blanchard last Friday goes out, takes care of business versus Ardmore, 56-20. Your final score, a season high as far as scoring output for the Lions for the year. Coach, first off, how are you doing?
Good.
Another week.
Good.
It's a big week, but I'm sure around the locker room you're just business as usual. Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting out here. We were worried about doing the show outside.
Yeah.
How the weather might get to us on that. We're
Yeah.
still in summer. It's
Right.
still summer
I know,
out
it's
here.
awful. It's awful.
It was hot today. We were out, hot practice today, but
I really
like I
thought
said,
the
big
week that
week,
was the week that was last week
I know.
taking a hotter turn, just not fun. But
I
hot
did
practice
get a little
today.
cool at a JV game one night, and then the rest of the time it's been hot. But it was warm today, but it felt like the early part of the season again. But it was good. We got to go out and get to work. It's going to be big week this week.
We'll get into that in the last segment like we usually do. Let's talk about going back to that highest scoring output of the year. How did we get there? How did the Lions amass that total for the game last week?
Yeah, just I thought our guys played well on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Ardmore was a little bit hamstrung because their quarterback was out, so they had to go with a backup quarterback. So that really kind of limited some of what they could do on offense. But our defense took advantage of that, and I thought our guys really executed the game plan well on that and really shut down a lot of what they do. I think we had one semi-bust in the back end that gave up a long touchdown pass. But I thought other than that, all night long, I thought we did well with our keys and our reads and our fits and where we were and, created turnovers again. That was the big thing.
Yeah.
It kind of helped us get out to a quick start. And I really think that, that dynamic when, you've got a team like Ardmore, it's an uphill night for them. They understand that. They know they're playing one of the top teams in the district. They're playing it without their quarterback. They know they're going to it's going to be tough sledding. And then, then we score, and then boom, next thing you know, we get a turnover and get the ball back and score.
Right.
And then we get a turnover and we get the ball back and go score. I mean, it's just – and all of a sudden, you're down 21-0, and you just – it kind of takes the life out of you. And we saw that this past weekend.
I was about to say we saw that down in Norman.
I mean, it just when something happens to you like that, man, it really hits you in the face. And and you got to see if you can rally. And fortunately, our guys kept the pressure on, and they kept coming, and they kept playing. But I thought our guys, the level of execution we had was good, and I thought we threw the ball well, we caught the ball well, we blocked well, we ran well, and we took care of the football.
Let's talk about, just what these past 2 weeks were leading into this week, right? You have two teams in both Ardmore and who was it 2 weeks ago? Tecumseh. I wasn't there. That's why I couldn't remember. We talked about, really healing up these past 2 weeks. There's a really good possibility that you can, work early against these two teams, maybe get some reserves in there for the third and fourth quarters. How do you think your team did leading up, because it's a very easy look ahead spot the way I see it for such a big game, and you can make the argument that it's the last big huge game on the schedule. We'll get into it at the last segment, but how do you think your team handled these past 2 weeks leading into a big rivalry week?
Well, I thought we did well. I thought we were a little sluggish at Tecumseh. We seemed to be a little sluggish over there, but we kind of finally figured it out and kind of got going. We flipped the switch a little bit after the rain delay, but our execution was a little bit sloppy. And you'd like to be more crisp in that. I thought we were better against Ardmore. And we always talk to our guys about us, and we always talk about taking care of us. And,
Right.
It's never about the opponent as much as it is about us.
Mm-hmm.
And, we put things in and we game plan for certain people. We game plan for Tuttle different than we do Ardmore. It's a different offense. We game plan different than we did for Tecumseh. It's a different offense.
Yeah.
And so you have to make those fine adjustments. We don't overhaul. We make little tweaks here or there. And how well our guys have really done in terms of picking those things up and executing those on game day.
Yeah.
And and continue to do what we do on offense and to continue to execute those things. I thought we did well in that regard. I thought the fundamental things of what we do offensively, we did a better job at.
Yeah.
And you always have something here or there. You're always tweaking this or you're tweaking that, or you're putting a wrinkle in here or a wrinkle there. But how well do you handle the base stuff that you do, your nucleus? Are you good at that? And I thought our guys did a good job there.
Yeah, we're going to get to clips here in a second of highlights. Just had a couple more note-keeping subjects to get to. Injuries. Did the 2 weeks help at all with anything that we had covered previously? Is there anything new added on to that list?
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, we had a couple guys we rested last week just with nagging stuff.
Yeah.
Not, if we were playing Tuttle, they'd probably play.
Right.
But
right.
can we get a week off? And that was kind of where we were with them. Can we get a week off? We'll try. Let's, suit up, go out, through warm up, go do everything we do. We're not going to start you or we're not going to play you, but let's see where we are.
Yeah.
In the whole scheme of things. If we need you, we'll play you. If we don't, we won't. And fortunately, we were able to set those guys and rest them and not let them play. We're just, we're still without Braden Heffernan. I mean, he's going to be out.
Okay.
Probably the rest of the season, most likely, is what it's looking like. I know we wanted to get ready. We wanted to get ready for this game, but it doesn't look like we're going to make it. And so, if that's the case, then we'll probably rest him the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And try to get him ready for playoffs if possible. So, other than that, for the most part, I think everybody's back in full gear. So that's good.
Good to hear. Wanted to go over some notable scores from last week. We had talked about a couple of big matchups. Just wanted to give the updates. Wagner goes out and beats Cushing 42-21 at Cushing. And then Elgin, the transplant in from 5A coming down to 4, absolutely puts a beating on Weatherford 56-14. Is there a secret about Elgin that I'm just not understanding? Or, they came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah.
I know they were pretty respectful in 5A. I know they have a commit to Tennessee, I believe. But anything pop out for you for those two scores?
Well, Elgin's a very talented team. They made a run in 5A last year.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they had a few tough games in there in 5A, and then you had a lot of easily winnable games.
I feel like 5A is a little bit more top heavy.
It really,
maybe like a
it's
D4A.
very very top heavy, and
Yeah.
and then everybody else kind of falls off
Yep.
down there pretty far. But not taking away anything that they accomplished,
Of course.
by any means. But
Yeah.
they had those guys back,
Yeah.
and when you've got a 4th-year starting quarterback.
Experience.
Yeah, so that and his dad used to coach there, and so he's pretty much a coach's kid.
Yeah.
Understands the game, knows the game well. So anytime you got a guy that's started for you at quarterback for 4 years, his 4th year is going to be pretty solid.
Of course.
And so he kind of runs the show and makes things click, gets the ball where it needs to get it.
Yeah.
And that's and that makes it pretty simple. And it doesn't hurt that you got a couple of Division I kids up front.
Yeah, no,
that
not at all.
just molash people, and a
good
running
word
back
for
and a
it.
good running back behind him.
Yeah.
They're not taking anything away from him, but gee, man, I've watched him play. There's a lot of times he doesn't get touched. For
I'd
10
want to be a
yards.
running back too if it was those people protecting me.
There's guys, they're blowing some holes out of there, but what they do is they put pressure on you. They can spread you.
Yeah.
They can, and then they can load up on you. But if they spread you, they create creases. And so, Yeah, they're very good, and very good for that reason, because they've got some very good players, and they're very talented, and well coached team, and and like I said, a fourth year starting quarterback doesn't hurt.
It'll do that for you. Yeah, let's get into some clips of what was that victory last week against Ardmore. Clip 1.
It's our opening series. We're going to get the ball down. We got the ball down deep into their territory, and
new jerseys as well, by the way.
Well, we've had those all year. We started the year off with those. We broke them out right off the bat. So, but great job by our guys up front right here. We get some very good blocking and get some guys sealed. We get some good angles by those guys. Get our we don't even really have to. Nate's coming across the block. He really doesn't have anybody block, but we did a good job up front right there, blowing a hole through for Vaughn for a big easy touchdown right there. One of those, I get through the hole and nobody touches me.
Yeah,
I get it down the end zone.
Job well done. Clip 2.
After we score, kickoff. This is their first play of that series. After we've scored. And they're like I said, they're trying to run that grinded out fullback stuff in there. It gets in a pile. We get the ball. There's Brayson again, stripping the ball out. We get the ball stripped out in a pile right there. You get a guy held up in a pile, and we're going to fight for that ball. And Brayson gets it stripped out, and I think Vaughn jumps on it, and it's our ball. So,
he's got to be close to double digits doing that on the air. It's got to be
quick,
close.
Yeah, quick turnaround right there on him. That's why I was saying, it's hard on a team like that when you're playing. They've got an uphill road. We've scored, and then all of a sudden, boom, we got the ball back.
Yeah.
And then if we go score, it really puts a damper on them.
Yeah.
That.
Clip 3.
And so this is going to be our follow-up touchdown on that. We get the ball back down to their 5. We got we got second and goal from the 5, and a little outside zone fake there. It's our power read, and Hud reads it, does a good job reading it. We're wrapping it up inside. He's reading outside. If they jump outside, he's going to keep it. If they stay inside, he's going to hand it off outside.
We said it on the broadcast, and we've
simple.
really been saying it all year. Anytime the QB during that particular play keeps it, there's usually just it's a big gain usually.
It's really tough to handle down there on the goal line, down on that situation. A lot of guys getting man to man.
Yep.
A lot of them are in man-to-man situation. They're chasing a guy across the field. They're trying to jump. They're trying to get out there fast to cover that outside zone and not get outrun to the corner. And in that process, they overrun it, and the quarterback gets up inside.
Clip 4.
Got the 14-0 lead. They're kind of trying to put a drive together right here, and we're going to get another big play right there by Gage Ellison on the interception on that. They had hit us on that play earlier, and he had kind of flattened out on his drop a little too flat, and they kind of threw it just inside of him over his head a little bit. This time he gets back in that area right there and drops underneath that, gets back underneath that route, and of course threw it right to him. So big pick. Glad he caught it. After he dropped,
I was about to say he had an easier one earlier in the middle.
He had the pick 6 earlier, and he dropped that right in his hand. So it was good to see him catch that one.
Yeah, I gave him a hard time when he interviewed that 1 week. Clip 5.
He caught grief on that one. So this is a continuation of that drive after the interception, getting the ball back down deep. We had already tried to hit Nathan in the flats over there, and outside backer made a great play on that, and so. We come back in. We've kind of got them popping outside now. We got them thinking outside, and we're able to hit them up inside. We get some good blocking up in there, and Vaughn does a good job of finding a crease in there and getting through.
I know it's kind of been patchwork on the O-line the past couple of weeks with the injuries. Would you say that this was the best game that unit just
we
enduring?
Probably as a whole. I mean, yeah, we still struggle with finishing stuff and still struggle with finishing blocks. Our initial contact and things like that were really good. I thought we were good. We were in the right place. We just got to do a better job of working ourselves into a better position blocking wise so we can sustain that block longer.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the focus this week because, Tuttle's front's very quick and very fast. They're going to get off of that stuff.
Right.
If we don't get in better position, they'll get off and go make a play.
Clip 6.
So they got a touchdown, score, kick it off, get back to court. we run our little reverse on our kickoff again, and a big crease up the side for Bryson. You know, the good thing about it, you watch that, and that's one of the things I emphasize on film on that deal. If you watch Cork does a great job of he's still running like he's got it.
Yeah.
You see about 2 or 3 guys chasing him down the field. They don't even know Brayson's got the ball. They're chasing Cork. And so just a little thing like that of like, hey, just continue to carry out your fake, and you take guys' eyes with you. And that's two or three less guys that are trying to make the play over there. So it's an opportunity for Brayson to break it.
Clip 7.
So this might be the first play. I can't remember if it's the first play after that kickoff right there, as we got Noah in at quarterback, put Hud out there at wide out. We put a little slant and go stuff on that and found Cork over the top. We throw a great ball over the top. Cork had a good route, but it's even better catch. You know, that's a tough catch. That's a hard catch over your shoulder like that. And their safety's kind of got him in a bind there. And Noah did a kind of a good job of looking him off, moved him over towards Hud. So he worked towards Hud's side. He came back to the Cork side on that. So we did a good job there as far as quarterback reading and moving that guy.
If you look at the Blanchard sideline, another addition. Most favorite thing I like to see.
Celebrations.
That was very animated on that sideline.
Those Weavers
I like it.
Are excitable. Love the big plays.
Yeah. Clip 8.
So once again, a couple plays after that big pass to Cork down there. This is, we got Gunner in the backfield. Our guys do a great job again up front. We get a good split block right there, and by Nathan, and Gunner's able to kind of grind it out and get it in the end zone, break a couple tackles, drag a couple guys into the end zone. Gunner's a pretty strong runner.
Yeah.
With the ball, so he drug a couple guys in the end zone and once again got on the board. So real quickly after they score, it's a big kickoff return, a big pass, run a play, and then run a play touchdown. And it just kills any momentum that they tried to get.
Clip 9.
I swear it won't all be offense. It's not all offensive highlights. Even though when you score 56 points, so you got a lot of offensive highlights to get in on that. So got Hud back in at quarterback, and I think it was Hud, maybe. Hud back in at quarterback. Snap between her legs, and we're like, oh, man, just get on it. And then he finds a way to pull it out and scramble around and just makes an unbelievable play. It was hard enough to go back and scoop it up without any hesitation. He's got an athletic guy coming at him on the side. You don't expect him to scoop that up like he did, just like flawlessly picked it up and kept moving. Gunner improvs right there. He's in the flat, runs a go route, and he turns it up sideline, and Hud throws a great ball, and it was one of those, just a tough catch, and that was a great catch by Gunner back in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. So
there's a saying about chickens that I used.
You messed it up.
No, I did not. Did I? Did I?
You had it backwards on that because it's chicken salad out of chicken.
You know what?
Yeah.
That was a textbook example, though.
Yeah.
Great play.
Yeah, we kind of made something out of a bad play.
It's nice to know in a situation like that, though. There are some guys on the field that have a high IQ to say, you know what, go run. That situation.
Yeah, go scoop that ball up like no problem.
Not just ball watch and not continue to run some sort of route and make something happen. Clip 10.
Play a little backyard football. That's all good. We're still on offense, by the way.
Okay.
Highlights.
Double-digit clips in.
We'll get to the defense here in a minute. So now we got Hud back in. Got Brayson out there on the edge. Did a little hitch and go with him. Does a great job running the route. A beautiful ball by Hud right there for a touchdown. Or was that Hud or Nate? I can't remember. I think that was Hud. I think threw a great ball right there and just dropped it in to Brayson. That was a great route. I think that was a one-play series too, if I'm not mistaken on that.
Clip 11. Allergies getting to me today.
We're going defense here.
Hey, come on. 11 clips
going a little defense right here. I bet I can tell you, if you guess what happens right here. Of course, they run outside. We do a great job of containing that, and then everybody else fits it. Strip. There goes the ball. Cork picks it up, takes it in the end zone. And we got to eliminate that. I mean, it's borderline, but it's enough to warrant a flag. So we got.
It's a fine line. It's a fine line.
I mean, it's, he's kind of looking back. Steve was there. He probably looked a little too long, but good job of getting that stripped out. And and like I said, it just kind of snowballed on him all of a sudden.
At least he's getting out in the regular season,
Yeah, well, we're going to try to eliminate that. We shouldn't have that problem anymore.
Clip 12.
We want to have fun. We want to enjoy, but we don't want to cost our team in the process. So, getting into the defensive section of the highlight.
Lovely.
Fast. Here we go. Big short yardage play right here. They try to get the ball outside, and man, our guys just do a great job. We got penetration there, flying to the football, and it's not happening. And our guys are all over that. So. We did a great job of getting some upfield penetration from our D-line right there, and then backers are on the move, safeties are on the move, and there's just nowhere for him to go. It's a big, about 5 or 6 yard loss right there on a 3rd and short.
We've said it a couple times this year. I mean, any team that's tried to challenge Blanchard on the edge usually doesn't go well, or if they find success, it's usually not sustained.
No,
success.
our guys are pretty good on the edge, and it's. Like I said, you might get us. You keep working at it. You might get us a time or two, but you're not going to consistently.
Yeah.
I don't think you can consistently get out there. I think our guys do a great job of holding that edge, and then our guys run the alley well, what we call the alley, which is inside out on the running back.
Yeah.
But, they do a good job of that.
Clip 13.
Turn it back over to the defense on that. So. Coming in with another defensive highlight on here. Once again, great penetration there by Luke Meeker. That's pursuit. Our inside out. Once again, trying to go lateral on us. And our guys do a great job on the edge out there. Vaughn's kind of filling in for Cole on the edge. Outside backer does a great job of containing that. Corner comes on, and Luke's got some inside pressure from the D-line, and then we got linebacker Fitz right there. And we just fit them up right there for another big loss on the outside run play. So great job by our defense in pursuit, good angles. Everybody's fitting where they need to fit. We got everything covered up. Our guys aren't selfish. In the fact that, hey, I've got to contain. I'll go out there and contain it. I may not make the tackle, but I'm going to contain it, turn it into my teammates, let them make the play.
Right. Clip 14, final clip.
This should finish it off. It's just – this was one of those things. It's kind of an aspect of our offense. We got, we were running the ball up inside, run the ball up inside. You guys want to get down there. We're going to throw it out there, throw it out to Bryson, and just didn't realize we had such a speed advantage right there. And it just, we're trying to get a first down. I mean, we're not necessarily trying to go 65 right there, but,
right.
We're trying to get a first down because they're all packed in there pretty tight. And, a phase of our offense that we take advantage of, and we get it out there, and Bryson just does the rest. I mean, he does what he does and makes big plays, and he made another big one right there.
Yeah, that was a 56-20 win. Blanchard over Armour last Friday. Blanchard's 56, the most on offense this year. Going to go out of segment 1 here. Who do you have for me this week?
We got Alex Price.
Okay.
And Jace Vermillion.
Okay.
And a couple more seniors.
Sweet.
Rounding out the batch.
We'll bring on Alex first, and then Jace, and then we will bring them both back for some questions that have been verified by my father, who used to ref. So we won't have any discrepancy this week on answers. That's for
get
sure.
Some clarification on that.
You guys are watching the Blanchard Lions Coaches Show at 10 Arrows Coffee and Bistro. Big shout out to 10 Arrows for hosting us each and every week. They're doing a Coaches Show special during the time every Tuesday, 6 to 7, $14 for a full sandwich, chips, cookie, and drink, $12 for a chicken salad sandwich, chips, cookie, and drink. Full menu also served for the entirety of the Coaches Show. We're going to be right back after a quick break, rolling into segment 2 with Alex Price on the Blanchard Lions Coaches Show. We'll be right back.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Surface Experts is your one-stop shop for all of your hard surface damage. If you have a scratch, chip, crack, burn mark, or hole, we can handle it. We repair all types of hard surfaces, including stone and laminate countertops, wood and LVP floors, tubs, showers, and cabinets. We can also grind and polish glass cooktops and remove scratches from stainless steel elevators and appliances. We focus on repairing just the spot with the damage, so you don't have to replace the whole surface. We work with apartments and residential properties all over Oklahoma. Give us a call today to schedule your repair.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second segment here of the Blanchard Lions Coaches Show, Rivalry Week edition. I am alongside Alex Price. Alex, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Okay, I'm going to do this, and because I've gotten some of this wrong, so this is just the simple questions first. You're a senior.
Yep.
You're the kicker.
Yep.
Anything else?
No?
Okay, awesome. Well, you were telling me that you were on special teams. You're, what was it, freshman year? Sophomore year?
7th through sophomore year, yeah.
7th through sophomore? Yeah, and then you had the surgery, correct?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So before, I kind of cheated a little bit. Before we went on, we were talking about you being interviewed by Channel 9.
Yeah.
Was this high school?
Yeah,
What year?
sophomore year.
Okay. I promise you, I'm not as good as probably whoever interviewed you that night, but we're going to have a lot of fun here. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to ask you a couple things about football, then some non-football things, and then we're going to bring you and Jace back to play a game. So let's start off super simple. Let's start from the beginning. How did you become a kicker? Tell us the story. Did you want to play football, or did you specifically want to be a kicker? Just give me start, middle, end, how that all came together for you.
Well, I've played soccer since I was 3.
Oh, okay.
And then I wanted to play more on the line or something other than kicker, but my dad didn't want me to.
Really? Okay.
Yep. So I would ride my bike to the old practice field with my kicking stuff, and I would go kick out there.
Really?
And then I showed up and asked Craig if I could play, and he was like, yeah.
Where is the old practice field? Is that across from the old football field? Would that be
The
Yeah.
old football field, yeah.
Okay, interesting. So do you still play soccer now?
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. So let's fast forward to practice, right? What is a day in the life of a kicker look like for you for practice for football? I mean, are you doing stuff with any of the other positions? Are you just kind of on your own with the other kickers? I mean, give me what a day of practice looks like for you from start to finish.
Well, I stretch, and then we get about 25 minutes on one of the sides of the uprights that are empty,
Okay.
where we could go kick.
You're talking about by the football field now, over there in the
No,
practice
on
field?
the field.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we
Okay.
get time to kick, and then I just kind of chill until
Yeah.
we do special teams or whatever, and then run with the team after. And
Okay, interesting. Do you get any special privileges for being? Are you the only kicker on the team, or is there others?
there's a sophomore kicker,
Okay.
Matt Campbell. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you? Is he going to take your place at place kicker next year? If it's just him, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So is there any teaching that goes on between you two? Because I know you guys are doing completely different things.
Yeah,
right
we
now.
help each other out.
Yeah. So what does
Yeah.
that? I mean, what does that look like? Because he's the place kicker.
Yeah.
I guess is the right
He
correct
does
term
kickoff
for
now.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever tried doing place kicking before? Has that ever been a thought for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, on kickoffs.
Yeah.
Because you were saying that you were a part of special teams, tackling people. Had no idea.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about that. But tell me about how you get in the right headspace, because you know the thing about kickers, right? I mean, there's a saying, they're all head cases. So how do you mentally prepare for a football game as a kicker? Is it just a reps thing? I mean, what's kind of going through your head? I mean, as you mentally prepare for a football game. You don't know?
No.
Is it just go out there and just let the kicking speak for itself?
Yeah.
Are you? What's the right way to ask this? Are you superstitious about anything? Do you have to prepare a certain way? Do you eat one thing before games and you always have to do it that way? Or are you just kind of go with the flow, whatever ends up happening?
I
or-
just go with the flow.
Really? So
Yeah.
you have no do you listen to certain music
No,
before the games?
I
anything?
just stretch in the locker room. And
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's a common misconception? Because obviously you've never heard of the head case, which is actually good. I'm sorry if I planted that into your brain now. Just don't think about it come Friday. But is there a common misconception about kickers? maybe that floats around there from time to time? I mean, anything that be like, oh, it's so much easier than playing like linebacker or playing quarterback. I mean, what's a common misconception about kickers that you think is out there in the world?
Well, a lot of the boys think they can go out there and kick and just easily do it. And then sometimes they do try, and it's not as good as or easy as they think it is.
So how was that transition for you? Because you said you had played soccer your whole life, still do.
Yeah.
How is that any different, kicking a soccer ball than like a football? Was it like a long period, like a long learning curve to figure out how to effectively kick a football, or was it like pretty easy to catch on with? Like, was it hard at first? I mean, what was that like journey like?
At
for
first,
you?
it was hard because in soccer you open your hips up and
Okay.
bring your head up, but in football you have to keep your head down while you kick.
So, do you kick with your toe?
No, inside your foot.
For soccer, right?
For both.
For both?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
kick with my toe.
Okay. Is that like how most people do it, or is it pretty like frowned upon to do it that way?
Frowned upon. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a specific way. I love that. Tell me a couple of times, because we'll bring Jace on here the next segment, so only a couple more questions with Alex Kicker, senior kicker, by the way. Give me some of your favorite performances of your career kicking, because you've been doing it since freshman year, correct?
Since 7th grade.
Since 7th grade,
Yeah.
So it can be any grade, any moment. I know winning state, obviously, you're kicking extra points for that, so obviously that probably is a highlight. But just give me some of your favorite moments in your whole football career.
Probably my sophomore year against Tuttle when I got to hit the field goal 34 yards, and it put us up all
Yeah.
the way until the end when Jackson Limnack caught it
It
in
was
the
the
end
last
zone.
play of the
Yeah.
game. Yeah, that was our first year doing it. I remember that very well. So you're just a kicker though, right? No
Yep.
more tackling for you. How many times have you been tackled in your career? Have you kept count? We talked about the one a couple weeks ago, but do
Yeah.
you keep tally like that? Because it doesn't happen
I don't
very
keep
often.
tally, but
No, we're probably not in the double digits yet, right?
no, probably
Okay.
like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, right. Say, before we get you out of here, we'll bring you back in with Jace to do a little bit of a situational football trivia show, if you will. But say one good thing about the man that's sitting over there, if you will. Maybe say something bad about him, like just kind of badmouth him, No, I'm just kidding. Say one good thing about Jace, your teammate, before we bring him on.
Jace always keeps his head up, and even if someone else is feeling down in practice, he'll always go lift him up.
I like
So-
that. That's Alex Price, senior kicker. We're going to bring her back into the fold after we bring Jace back on in segment 3. Hopefully that interview was less stressful and somehow better than the one you did with Channel 9. I really hope.
Yep.
But we're always trying to get better on this show, right?
Yep.
I'm Drake Vidito. That's Alex Price. We're going to roll into segment 3 here in a second. Big shout out to 10 Arrows Coffee and Bistro for hosting us each and every week. We'll be right back here watching Blanchard Lions Coaches Show on Blanchard Lions TV.
In our business and at our firm, it's all about preparation, preparation, preparation. We are advocates for our client. We speak for them. So as a part of that advocacy, it involves hiring the best experts. It's doing the legal research. It's doing the medical research. That is advocacy behind the scenes. It's not just the bells and whistles in front of the jury.
So you want to create your future, discover a path worth traveling down, find a career to get excited about. For decades, Career Tech has been training talented, skilled individuals, empowering them to step in.
Welcome back to the Blanchard Lions Coaches Show here at 10 Arrows Coffee and Bistro. Big shout out to 10 Arrows for hosting us each and every week. They have a Coaches Show special going on for the 1 hour that we do the show every Tuesday. You can get a full sandwich, chips, cookie, and drink for $14. And you can also get a chicken salad sandwich, chips, cookie, and drink for $12. Do not worry if none of those options sound appetizing to you. Their full menu will also be served throughout the night at your own convenience. Talked with Alex that last segment. Rolling into the third segment here, we have another senior, Jace Vermillion, and you are a senior, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. You'd be surprised. Sometimes I get some of these simple things wrong. Wide receiver
Yep.
and outside linebacker.
Outside and in.
Outside and in. Okay, we'll
Yep.
do both. See,
Either
this
way.
is exactly why you asked.
Wherever
the
I'm
easy,
needed, really.
Yeah. Any time you can get the layups wrong, I would probably be the one.
That's
So,
all right.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk a little bit of football, then we're gonna talk some stuff outside of football,
Okay.
and then we'll bring Alex back in to do some fun trivia stuff.
Sounds good.
Not to put any pressure on you or Alex, but everyone has done exceptionally well besides one group last week.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Jason Chauncey. I don't
Yeah,
want to
they
name
struggled.
names, but just there's some pressure on you after the stinker that was last
That's
week.
all right. Pressure
Well,
makes diamonds.
That's right. Let's talk about the performance that was last week. So since you play both sides of the ball,
Yeah.
you're a part of two different groups. We'll just go left to right,
Okay.
front and back. Ardmore last week, wide receiver position. How do you think that group did altogether versus the Ardmore defense? We did say it was the biggest offensive output of
Absolutely.
the season, but how do you think the wide receiver group in particular did as a group?
Did very well. Ardmore secondary, they have some good speed, but they're
Yeah.
not as skilled as some other secondaries we've seen this year.
Yeah.
And so, as a wide receiver group, did a great job getting open, running good routes, making catches when we really needed them.
Yeah.
Moving the ball downfield. As a wide receiver group, did a great job against Ardmore.
Yeah. Is a wide receiver just all about catching the ball at the end of the day, or is it more
Not-
than
no,
that?
not
Can
at
you
all.
let some people in on like maybe the worst kept or the best kept secrets about what makes a wide receiver tick?
A wide receiver, you got to be able to know your role, even if
Yeah.
it's not a pass play.
Yeah.
Run play, you got to block your receiver. I mean, your DB. You got to give your, especially if you're having like a show route or a bubble route from your inside receiver, you got to block the edge, give them a chance to get upfield, make a play.
Yeah.
Running backs coming to the edge, you got to give them a chance to get outside and make a play. So you
Got
can't
to
let-
be a good route runner. Period.
Yeah,
I
you gotta
mean,
have
when
gotta
it is
have
a-
good routes. You gotta be able, not. I mean, obviously catching the ball is very important. You gotta be able to run good routes, and especially like in scramble plays, your quarterback's out of the pocket trying to find you. You just gotta find a way to get open.
Yeah.
Just kind of have good situational awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. Good answers. Good answers all around. Okay, let's go to the other side of the ball now. Outside, inside linebacker, just linebacker group as a whole. How do you think that unit performed against Ardmore?
Very well. Ardmore runs kind of a different and old school offensive scheme. They run
Okay.
a wing tee, got a lot of
Yeah.
misdirection, motions, kind of trying to throw you off.
Very familiar too, because especially last year you had the Piedmonts of the world, the Potos of the
Potos,
world.
yep.
Not maybe the exact same, but like the same.
Yeah. Type of ball game.
At the end of the day,
Yeah,
yes.
same type of ball game. Yeah, it was different. Yeah, but they run a really old school offense, wing tee, a lot of motions, a lot of misdirections. But we did a really good job as a linebacker group inside and out,
Yeah.
just reading your keys, doing our jobs. Colin Gage stepped up huge, big time for. I mean, it's not sorry. Colin Vaughn, Gage and Vaughn. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
no, you're good.
Did a very good job. They stepped up huge for us. They set the edge, didn't let anything outside. And as they've done all season long, they didn't let anything get outside. And just like big plays happen. And then you got Goose and you got Gunner
Yeah.
doing a great job on the inside. They really filled their holes well. They read their keys. They let any big plays kind of go deep. They just
Yeah.
kind of really kept everything in play.
Love it. It was a great, I think both sides of the ball, you can say both great performances.
Absolutely.
From the wide receiver group and the linebackers. Let's talk about what to expect versus Tuttle this week. Obviously, we talked about it with Coach Craig. Very easy to overlook teams like Tecumseh and Ardmore leading
Yeah,
up to a
100%.
big game. I think you guys did a mission accomplished as far as getting it done and getting it done somewhat
Yeah.
relatively early versus Ardmore.
Yeah.
How do you prepare? Do you prepare any differently versus a team like Tuttle, or is it
Oh,
business as usual?
100%.
Okay,
I mean,
what's going on? Let's
it's-
talk about the physical side in practice first, and then give me your mental. What's going through your mind as the week comes up for that Friday game versus
I
Tuttle?
mean, anyone from around here knows Blanchard Tuttle. It's the biggest thing around. I mean, it's the almost for me. It's the biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, playoffs are very important, absolutely, but it's being able to hold that over their head for 365 days that you just absolutely beat them up and down the field.
and it's been a couple of years. I mean,
Absolutely.
I want to say 3. I mean, since we've been doing it,
Last time I
never
lost to them was my freshman year.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
So what is that? How about mentally? I mean, it's a big game around town.
Mm-hmm.
How do you individually prepare mentally, physically for the game that is Tuttle on Friday?
It's just
Do you have a
sticking with your guys.
Do you have a special sauce? Are you very? I asked Alex. Are you very superstitious? Do you
I am
have
a very superstitious guy.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you have a particular routine leading up to games, or do you wear particular things?
Not really wear, just like kind of have the same routine leading up to game day.
Yeah.
And on game day, just kind of like, but most importantly is just like sticking with my teammates.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can prepare all you want or have superstitions, rituals, all that, but just being with your teammates
Yeah.
Monday to Thursday, getting yourselves ready mentally and even in practice, getting ready, making sure everyone's on the same page and ready to roll Friday night.
So talk about it as a senior, right? Because there's a lot of seniors on this team. I mean, potentially the last time in football that you'll ever be playing this team.
Yep.
I mean, how do you guys gel together as a unit, knowing that this is the last time you're going to have a big rivalry game against Tuttle potentially like this?
Yeah, we are so close and so bonded as a group. I mean, this grade we've done everything together. We hang out together, like not just a couple guys here, a couple guys there. We all hang out together. We're so close as a team, especially the senior class. I mean, these are my brothers. Like, I would go to war for any of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we've talked enough football. I do have a couple of questions because I do know some of the things you do outside of sports. Technically still pertaining to sports.
Yep.
Let's talk about your side gig, if you will, the broadcasting stuff. So tell me how long you've been doing it, how you got into doing it. It's mainly basketball, right?
Yeah, and a little bit of,
softball.
Us,
tell us everything.
Yeah, last year, Miss Robinson's first year up at the high school, I ended up having her class for media, and it was towards the end of football season. Basketball's fixing to start up, and she came and asked me, she's like, would you be interested in broadcasting? I was like, absolutely, I'd love to do that. That sounds so much fun.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, basketball season started up, and me and Nate Holding and Luke Meeker and a couple of other guys, we just started calling every game, every home game and a couple away games, and I just kind of fell in love with it. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Just because I was never the best basketball player, but I really liked the sport.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, this is the perfect way for me to stay connected to the game. And so I enjoyed it, calling the games, keeping up with stats, stuff like that. It was so fun. I enjoyed it.
You have specific ways to prepare for a football game. Is there a specific way that you prepare for a broadcasting of a game? Is there anything different that you do?
I mean,
some people have to have it all out in front of them. They take loads and loads of notes. Some people really like to go natural with it. I mean, they really like to just whatever comes through them during the game. I mean, that's how they do. What kind of style are you?
I mean, I always have a couple notes written down. One thing I really focus on was getting the correct pronunciations for people's names.
It's important.
And making sure I have the right name, right number.
Yeah.
That way I'm talking about the right person on the court whenever they're making plays. And especially for our team, I like keeping stats.
Yeah.
Keeping how many points they have in the first quarter, who's in foul trouble,
Yeah.
who's leading the team in this, who's leading the team in that, who's doing well on the defensive side. And so I'm not like huge. I'm taking hundreds of pages of notes, but I keep a couple in front of me, but nothing crazy really.
Yeah. All good. What's the word I'm looking for? Characteristics to have in a good broadcaster. So very jealous. I didn't have the things that you guys have when I was here in school.
Yeah.
So
it's
definitely take advantage of all the time that is given in a broadcast booth for any sport. Okay.
Yeah.
We are going to bring back Alex in, and we're going to play a little game for everyone here. But before we do, you have to say one good thing about Alex as she did with you last segment.
Alex, she's very talented in her kicking skills. She does a great job. She does very good in her role.
So you're saying you can't kick better than her, is what you're saying?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Nope.
Good.
I can snap the PATs for her,
Yeah.
but I cannot kick. Nope. She does a great job with that. Really helping us out.
Yeah, love that. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to bring back Alex into the fold. We're going to do some situational football questions, see if they can deliver or if they drop the ball. You are watching the Blanchard Lions Coaches Show. Big shout out to 10 Arrows Coffee and Bistro for hosting us each and every week. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching BlanchardLions.tv.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Surface Experts is your one-stop shop for all of your hard surface damage. If you have a scratch, chip, crack, burn mark, or hole, we can handle it. We repair all types of hard surfaces, including stone and laminate countertops, wood and LVP floors, tubs, showers, and cabinets. We can also grind and polish glass cooktops and remove scratches from stainless steel elevators and appliances. We focus on repairing just the spot with the damage, so you don't have to replace the whole surface. We work with apartments and residential properties all over Oklahoma. Give us a call today to schedule your repair.
In our business and at our firm, it's all about preparation.
Welcome back to segment 4 here of the Blanchard Lions Coaches Show at 10 Arrows Coffee and Bistro. You can tell that it's late October by us being just over halfway through the program, and it's already getting dark outside. But we got some external lighting here to help us. It's the most important segment, I think, of the night. Who really cares about, the Tuttle rivalry? Who cares about what was last year? Just kidding. Absolutely not. We need to figure out if these kids know football. So, with that being said, we've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, both of you. We've had some up and downs from, the pairs that we've gotten.
Yeah.
I will say we're a little bit on a losing streak now. The last week's effort was not the greatest. I might even go as far to say it was the worst. But that's okay because you guys are talking about being such a tight-knit unit. Let's see if you can pick up where they left off. With that being said, we have 10 questions tonight, and all these were confirmed by my father, who was a former high school football referee. So if you have any quarrels with the supposedly correct answers, you can take it up with him. I'm just the messenger. So with that being said, here's what we're going to do. They're all multiple choice, so don't worry. Question 1, and you guys are on a team, by the way. You can engage the audience if you want. If you think they're smarter to you than you, the people that actually play the sport, you can see if you can gather some results from them. But let's go ahead and get with it. Question 1: a punt is caught, and the returner throws a forward pass. What is the result? A, legal lift behind the line of scrimmage. B, a legal forward pass, 5 yards and loss of down. C, 10-yard penalty, replay the down. D, 15-yard penalty, loss of down. A punt is caught, and the returner throws a forward pass. What is the results? A, legal lift behind the line of scrimmage. B, a legal forward pass, 5 yards and loss of down. C, 10-yard penalty, replay the down. Or D, 15-yard penalty, loss of down.
I believe it's B.
A legal forward pass, 5 yards and loss of down?
Yeah.
Is that a final? Are we getting...
Yeah.
I believe that's right.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is D, 15-yard penalty, loss of down. Number 2, it's all right. You have to get 7 out of 10 correct. I did not say that before. 7 out of 10. So we still got time to make up. Number 2, if the quarterback throws a pass after crossing the line of scrimmage, what is the penalty? A, 5 yards, no loss of down. B, 10 yards, no loss of down. C, 5 yards, loss of down. D, 15 yards, loss of down. Number 2, if the quarterback throws a pass after crossing the line of scrimmage, what is the penalty? A, 5 yards, no loss of down. B, 10 yards, loss of down. C, 5 yards, loss of down. Or D, 15 yards and a loss of down.
I'm thinking C or D, but
You're getting warm. You're getting warm.
C was what? Was that,
C
was
was
that
5 yards and a loss of down. D was 15 yards and a loss of down.
Oh.
You're warm on C or D. Alex?
I think it's C.
I think it's C. I don't think it's 15. I think it's just 5. C.
It is D, 15 yards and a loss of down. It's all right. These are not easy. I would like to say I kind of dug deep on these, so we'll go half. If you can get 5 out of 10.
All right.
Because these are definitely the hardest of the bunch that we've said so far. Number 3, if an eligible receiver steps out of bounds on their own and then catches a forward pass, what's the result? A, catch, legal play. B, 5-yard illegal procedure. C, 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct. D, illegal touching, loss of down. If an eligible receiver steps out of bounds on their own and then catches a forward pass, what's the result? A, catch, legal play. B, 5-yard illegal procedure. C, 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct. D, illegal touching, loss of down.
It's B or D. I don't think it's illegal conduct. I think
This one's gonna surprise some people. I was surprised.
It's not It's not A.
I would
'cause
rethink your initial two decisions
goes out of bounds on their own.
on their own,
well,
and then catches a forward pass. This is surprising.
well, if they're forced out of bounds and they reestablish themselves. Wait, no.
May have to get a Coach Craig double down on this
I
one.
don't know. I need my grandpa's help on this one. I don't know.
This is tough. This one surprised me.
Well, does the runner reestablish himself back in bounds after
Yeah.
going out of bounds?
Yeah, out of bounds on their own, and then catches a forward pass.
So he reestablishes himself.
Correct.
Then it's a catch. If he
Yeah.
reestablishes himself back in bounds, it's a catch.
Even if he went out of bounds on his own
No, because then if he would have to be forced out of
by
bounds
someone
and
else,
then come back
okay,
in.
well, hey,
and
we're
reinstate.
talking through it. This is good.
So it's
we're
not.
talking
So it's
through
not
it.
a catch because he went out on its own. On his own.
So it's not A.
not A.
Yeah.
And then B.
I
would it
said
be
rethink
illegal?
B and D. So if I said rethink B and D,
So
and it's
C.
not A. Yes.
So see, I'm just gonna do
It is a
process of
It
elimination.
is a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct?
Very surprising.
Wow.
I know.
I'd have thought maybe illegal touching.
Yeah, we'll give you that one.
Okay.
Number 4. Let's see if Alex can help out here. During a field goal attempt, a defender jumps over the center. What is the ruling? A, no penalty if no contact. B, 5-yard offsides penalty. C, 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Or D, 10-yard roughing penalty.
Well, I know it's a penalty because you're not allowed to jump the offensive line.
So we can eliminate A.
Yep. You
So
can,
B
you
is
cannot jump the offensive line on a PAT.
So
or extra
B
point.
is 5-yard offside penalty. C is 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. D, 10-yard roughing penalty. Have you ever had to worry about someone jumping over someone to tackle you?
No.
Okay.
I'm
Never done that.
I'm thinking C or D. I don't offsides. I'm thinking C.
Think
'Cause-
it's C?
Yes, I believe it's C.
That is correct. A 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for jumping over the defender. Or the center, excuse me. Nice. So we are what? 2 for 4. We're good. We're on pace. That's all we need. Number 5. What is the maximum number of players allowed in the offensive backfield at a snap? A, 4, B, 5, C, 3, D, 2.
I believe it's 4.
What is the maximum number of players allowed in the offensive backfield at the snap?
I believe it's 4. 2.
So A?
Yep.
That is correct. It is A. All right. 3 for 5. Good. We're doing good here. Okay, number 6. On 4th and goal, this is where it gets really tricky, guys. On 4th and goal, the offense fumbles the ball at the 2-yard line. A defensive player recovers the ball at the 1-yard line, but while attempting to advance, he steps into his own end zone and is tackled. What is the ruling? Is it A, safety, B, touchback, or C, down at the 1-yard line? So I knocked off a D situation here because these are tough. We're getting into super tough territory here. I'll say it one more time. On 4th and goal, the offense
It's not a touchback.
fumbles the ball at the 2-yard line. A defensive player recovers the ball at the 1-yard line. But while attempting to advance, he steps into his own end zone and is tackled. What is the ruling? Is it a safety? Is it a touchback? Or is it down at the 1-yard line?
It wouldn't be a touchback because he fields it not in the end zone.
Okay.
And
I like where your head's at.
I don't think it's the down at the 1 because
Okay.
he tried to advance it. Or no, he didn't try to advance it. You just said he picks it up and goes in the end zone.
Yep.
So that would end up technically being a safety because he didn't try to advance it. He just picked it up, ended up in the end zone.
That is correct. A safety is the answer for number 6. Congratulations. What is that? 4 for 6? 4 for 6? 4 for 6. All right, going into question 7. Doing great, guys. Doing great. The offense runs a trick play where a player pretending to go to the sideline as a substitute remains near the sideline, then catches a pass downfield after the snap. What is the ruling? A, it's a legal play. B, illegal participation. Or C, illegal substitution. And this one's a little crazy because I asked my dad to write down on a notepad the answers for all of these. And on number 7, he crosses out something, and then he puts A, and then in parentheses he says, "Call me." And so, if he's not even knowing, then we might have to actually ask the crowd on this one. So, I'll say it to you one more time. 7, the offense runs a trick play where a player, pretending to go to the sideline as a substitute, remains near the sideline, then catches a pass downfield after the snap. What is the ruling? A, legal play. B, illegal participation. C, illegal substitution.
Does the player does he go out of bounds at all, or does he just stay in play on the
He
field?
remains near the sideline, so
he's
that
in
means he's
play?
in bounds.
Then it should be legal. As long as he remains in play.
That is correct. We may need to get a second opinion here. I see Coach Craig going like this, so I don't know if it's.
Well,
I may have to call him. I know I did
the
not
only
have the
reason,
chance to call him.
only reason I say that is because the Browns ran a trick play just like
Yeah?
that, where he stands there and acts like he's talking to the coaches, and then takes off running downfield and catches it.
Yeah, so that's good. Great answer. We'll give it to you. So now we are what? We are currently 5 for 7, so you're over the threshold. So let's see if we can get 7 out of 10. Question 8. The offense throws a pass, and the receiver tips the ball into the air. Before the ball hits the ground, an offensive lineman catches the ball and runs for a touchdown. What is the ruling? 8. Is it A, a touchdown, B, illegal touching, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, or C, offensive pass interference? The offense throws a pass, and the receiver tips the ball into the air before the ball hits the ground. An offensive lineman catches the ball and runs for a touchdown. What is the ruling? Is it a touchdown, a penalty for illegal touching, or an offensive pass interference?
Well, it can't be offensive. It's not offensive pass interference.
Okay.
I believe it's a touchdown. Because
And you would be correct.
Yeah,
that is
okay.
A.
I was about
That
to
is a
second guess
touchdown.
myself, but never mind.
Very good, very good. Okay, so we're if you go undefeated, we can go above 7. Here we go. Final 2. Number 9. The quarterback throws a forward pass that hits the referee, who is standing behind the defensive line. The ball then bounces into the hands of a defender who returns it for a touchdown. What is the ruling? Touchdown for the defense, incomplete pass, replay the down.
Hits the referee, hits the ground, picked up by the defense.
Quarterback throws a forward pass that hits the referee who is standing behind the defensive line. The ball then bounces into the hands of a defender who returns it for a touchdown. What is the ruling?
Incomplete pass.
That is correct. Very good. Yes, it's an incomplete pass. Not a touchdown, not a replay down. Okay, for all the marbles, question 10. Alex, how you feeling? Good?
Jace is doing good.
We may have to let Alex answer this one. Number 10, for all the marbles. A team attempts a field goal on 4th down, but the ball hits the upright and bounces back into the field of play. The defense picks up the ball and runs it back for a touchdown. What is the ruling? A, touchdown for the defense. B, the ball is dead when it hits the upright. C, defense is awarded possession at the spot of recovery.
I think it's dead. I don't think you can. I believe it's dead.
What are your thoughts?
I think it's dead because
Because?
when
It hits the ground.
Yeah?
and if the fumble is like if they don't catch it on a snap
Yeah?
and they receive it, then the ball's dead. So
So B, ball is dead is your final answer.
Yeah.
Final?
Yeah.
That is correct. Good job, y'all.
There we
8
go.
of 10. Very, very good. Those were definitely the hardest questions out of the bunch that we've thrown at him, but it was no problem for 2 seniors. Alex Price and Jason William, both of you, thank you so much for coming up. It is completely dark here. We have gone over time, but that's okay. We are going to take a quick break. We're going to roll into the final segment here, preview what is coming up versus Tuttle. Any final words to say to the great people that are watching? Think about it real hard.
Well, this Blanchard Tuttle game means a lot. My family's been a part of it since 1970.
Be
so
there, be square might
Yeah.
be an appropriate
my,
term.
my family's been a part of Blanchard Tuttle since 1970. So
That's
me
pretty good.
me being the last one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, doubly be there, be square
Yeah.
then. But anything else, Alex?
thank y'all for your support.
I love
Yep,
that. Love that.
absolutely.
Okay, we're going to get out of here, get back with Coach Craig, talk about what is to come versus rivalry week. And Tuttle, you guys are watching the Blanchard Lions Coaches Show at 10 Arrows Coffee and Bistro. We'll be right back on BlanchardLions.tv.
So you want to create your future, discover a path worth traveling down, find a career to get excited about. For decades, Career Tech has been training talented, skilled individuals, empowering them to step into a career that fuels not only their life, but the Oklahoma workforce. These individuals are the heartbeat of this state's economy. Individuals just like you. Create your future today at Oklahoma Career Tech.
This back-to-school season, give your home the connection it deserves with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Experience the power of Wi-Fi 6 technology for smoother streaming, gaming, and learning. And with the Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi app, managing your home network is a breeze. Choose from multiple plans with symmetrical speeds for lightning-fast uploads and downloads. Get your family school-ready with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Sign up today at gopioneer.com.
Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
The AMG team is based in Oklahoma City and delivers your organization revenue enhancement through a combination of data science, innovative marketing, and business automation. We think like owners and behave as long-term partners. Delivering measurable results for nearly 20 years has made the AMG team known for our ability to efficiently and effectively execute objectives. We're ready to help raise your organization to a higher level of success, so visit us today at theamgteam.com.
Welcome back to the Blanchard Lions Coaches Show here at 10 Arrows Coffee and Bistro. Big shout out to the two seniors, Alex Price and Jace Vermillion. Those were definitely the hardest questions I had thrown out all year. They took it like a champ. Also, big shout out to 10 Arrows for hosting us each and every week. They have the Coaches Show special going on during the time of the Coaches Show. $14 for a full sandwich, chips, cookie, and drink. $12 for a chicken salad sandwich, chips, cookie, and drink. Full menu being served all night, so if those two things don't sound appetizing, you have the full menu at your disposal. We are rolling into the final segment here, talking about a huge game. Does not really need to be dressed up at all. It's a game that this town is very familiar with. That is Tuttle, at Tuttle. 7 p.m. kick. The last time I really got to lead off the laundry list of people that are going to be there was back when Guthrie came to town. So without further ado, it is the Squirtle game of the week. It is the Oklahomans' #1 game of the week. It's the franchises game of the week. Channel 9 is going to be there, and the great Dylan Buckingham of Channel 4 is also going to be there. And those are only the ones I know, so it's probably a whole lot more than that. Tuttle itself, though, 7-0 going into this game, 4-0 in district, wins versus Guthrie, Newcastle, Noble, Ardmore, Medill, Bethany, Tecumseh. I ask you, sir, this is I don't know if it's completely different, but the makeup of this team is, I want to say, almost to drastically different than how they were made up of last year. Can you tell me what has changed from then to now and what we should expect from this Tiger group?
Yeah, they've got a trigger man.
Yeah.
That came in that can fling it. He can throw it, throws it well, makes good reads. And he's got two dynamic receivers on the outside, and some other guys sprinkled around those two that are good. So they're very talented on the edges. They're good up front. Got a good running back, runs hard, runs tough. He's a tough, hard-nosed runner. He's an inside, guy that just a workhorse. Let's just say a workhorse style running back. And so he can get ugly yards, and then they, so they try to beat you up in there, and then they can throw it out on the edges all day long. And so
multifaceted.
Yeah, it's just kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
So you have to decide, or gamble, I guess you could say, or take some chances, or just, I think if you try to sit there and play base, I mean, they've got enough things they can take shots on you. They can hurt you. So I mean, you just gotta you gotta be calculated in what you do. You got to be smart in what you do. We've got to create some wrinkles and some adjustments that kind of counter some of the things they do to try to take those things away. And then you just, you hope your guys are in position to make plays and not let their guys make plays.
Yeah.
And then you go into it and you say, you got to be realistic about it. I mean, both of us got to be realistic about it. Both have very talented players on the edges that are going to make plays.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the bottom line. I mean, they've got players. They're going to make plays. They're going to have some successes. They're going to have success on offense. They're going to have some success on defense.
Yeah.
We feel like we're going to have some success on offense. We're going to have some success. It's going to be a back and forth in that regard. And, it's just who makes the most plays.
Yep.
Who makes the least mistakes, and, who plays the cleanest game. And, special teams is going to be a huge factor in this as well.
Yeah.
Field position is going to be a huge factor in this as well. I just think that both of us, I think, play well enough on defense that it's really hard to get big plays on each team. So getting big plays is going to be the hard thing. Now the deal is can you put a drive together, an extended drive, to get the ball down and score? And I think that's going to be the biggest task for both offenses is can you move the ball consistently and try to score?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you move the ball a little bit, but can you score? I mean, we moved the ball at times on them last year, but we never scored.
Right.
And, our defense scored for us.
How do you find that happy medium when, you pop off one of those big plays or you're giving up big yards on a drive that started, at the 10-yard line? I mean, how do you really weather those storms throughout an intense game that means a lot to both towns?
Well, yeah, I just, I said, I've always coached this way. I've always believed this way. I don't give the big giant rah-rah speech in the locker room before we go out. I don't believe we should run out there jacked up and hyped up to an unbelievable level. Right. Because you crash from that. And something goes wrong, you go in the tank. And it's a free fall when you're up that high and that sky high and something goes bad. And then you go the other direction, and it's hard to recover from that. But if you can kind of stay in that happy median in there, it's kind of like a boxing match. Yeah. You guys are punching. When you get that shot, and then you get them backed up on the ropes, then you come in with your flurry and you get going.
But you got to be disciplined enough to watch out
you
for
just
a counter
can't,
punch.
But you just can't go in there. Flailing away, because they might land one on you, and and then all of a sudden the tide changes right back on you. So you got to be controlled in that attack. You got to be controlled in how you handle the game, and you got to go into it with that mind. If you go into it with that mindset, hey, they got players too. Yeah, they got players too. Guess what players do? Players make plays. Yep. And their players are going to make plays, and we have to understand that they're going to make plays, and we line up and go again. Yeah. Next play. Let's go. It's next play. And if we can move and we move on, they hit one on us or they, get a big gain on us or something like that, let's line up. We got to play the next play.
Absolutely.
We got to go on. So we have to have a short memory on those things, and we have to play with a certain level of excitement, but not too much.
You were talking about QB, wide receiver, running back, edge. Any other notable players to watch out for?
Just everybody they put out over there.
Yeah,
they've got some little speedy guys on the inside. The two outside receivers, the McAdoo kid and the Simon kid, are just phenomenal speed. Both of those guys have just tremendous speed. Yeah, so that puts you in a bind. They're very good at running routes, so they can press you vertical. And then they shut it down, and then their quarterback dings you. So, I mean, they're very good at running those routes, and that's hard route to cover because if they get a step on you, they're hard to keep up with. And so, keeping the ball in front of you is easier said than done. Yeah, they did it. We watch them do it at Bethany. Throw it to the Simon kid, in front of a guy.
Yep.
And he puts a move on the guy, and the guy just whiffs, completely misses everything, and then he goes in and scores.
Yeah.
So even if he's in front of you, it doesn't mean you got him.
Yeah.
You know, you got to tackle him, and then I've just, you know, McAdoo's made unbelievable catches, even when he's heavily covered.
Right.
He still finds a way to make a catch. So,
Yeah.
you know, in that regard, that's going to be something. It's a size mismatch for us there. So, you know, we got to try our best to keep the big plays out of their offense and try to make them earn it. You know,
Yeah.
earn it going down the field.
For those making the trip to Tuttle this Friday, I know that the last time Blanchard was there was 2 years ago. They have made renovations to the stadium since then. Is there anything notable that, you know, goers to Tuttle on Friday need to know? Is there any extracurricular things going on at Tuttle that you know of?
No, they're just doing a stadium dedication on that.
Chad Richardson, I believe, is going to be in the building.
Yeah, they're doing their stadium dedication at halftime. I think that's about it, really. I mean,
Okay.
it's just like you said, it's a hyped game.
Get there
Everybody, it's like I said, I haven't looked, but I'll take your word for it. It's
Yeah.
number one game in the state. I can't imagine what else is out there, but
Right.
you know, it's going to be an emotional game. It's going to be a hype game, and it's going to be a packed house. It's going to be a great atmosphere.
Absolutely.
You know, this is why you play football. This is why you play, to play in games like this, and to be out there Friday night and to be in that atmosphere. It's going to be a great, wonderful atmosphere. It'll be exciting.
Not many.
The heart will be beating a little bit. It'll be fun.
Not many rivalries like it, not just in 4A, but in the state of Oklahoma as well. Just a couple notable games that will also be happening simultaneously with Blanchard start. Poto at Salisaw, that's probably the second biggest one in 4A.
Big in that district.
Maybe a sneaky one because they're undefeated, but they're maybe not be seen. Grove is actually undefeated facing Wagner. That's going to be Wagner at Grove, and then Broken Bow at Ada.
I thought Grove got beat last week.
Did they?
I thought
Maybe
Miami
scored a
I think
light,
Miami
Jimmy.
beat them, but maybe not. Maybe they were ahead at one point in time.
Yeah.
Maybe the Grove came back. I hadn't really looked.
So those are just a couple of games. If you're scored a watching, we'll have some updates on halftime and post game for that as well. But did I miss anything? Anything to add for Tuttle games specifically for people either watching, going, anything?
Get there early. That's all I
Mr.
know.
Vermillion?
They're dedicating the field Friday night to Paycom.
Paycom. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a packed house.
So maybe like an hour early. Maybe like get there at like 6.
You better get there early if you want to. Yeah.
Right.
If you want to sit down, let's just say that. If
Right.
you don't mind standing and walking a long way, you can you can get there late.
I know we're probably going to be pretty pinched in as well as far as the streaming
I think
crew
there's
goes.
I think we got enough radios and streams and videos and stuff out of even their press box can't hold them all.
It's going to be
so that
packed,
deal,
but I
so
do know
it's be
this.
good.
We are trying to get some of the franchise guys to come down at least halftime to maybe speak some thoughts. I believe that'll be Sean Thurman and Jerry Ramsey on the call. But as for this show, this Dog and Pony show here on a Tuesday at Teneros Coffee and Bistro, we say it's done. It's over and done with. Thank you to all who tuned in. Big shout out to Teneros for hosting us each and every week. As for the game on Friday, be there, be square. Nothing needs to be said about a rivalry game versus Tuttle. It's going to be a packed house, and I implore you to get there early. But as for myself, Drake Vidito, that's Coach Craig, Ashley Robertson, the brains behind this whole ordeal, and then Gabe, always providing a helpful hand wherever he goes. Thank you for watching tonight's Blanchard Lions Coaches Show at Teneros Coffee and Bistro. You have been watching BlanchardLions.tv. We'll see you next week.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated